Your life sucks, right? You're going through all these negative experiences. You just can't catch a break. You're so many challenges and obstacles that's just making your life hard, right? Well, let me flip the switch and give you a different perspective. What if I told you that all those things are necessary to build who you are? You need to experience that to manifest a life you absolutely want. Anyways, my name is Roy, and it is a beautiful day here in Texas. This is about 80 degrees, and it's springtime. We here, baby. Yeah. So, back to the topic. Challenges and obstacles, right? If you've been following my last 5 videos, I've been talking about creating the ideal life on what you want, right? I talk about if you want to create your life, you got to be very deliberate on everything you choose, every aspect of your life, how you look, who you want to marry, how many kids you want, where you want to live, what car you want to drive, how you want to think, how you want to dress. Everything matters. What you want to do for work, how much you want to make. You got to be specific on what you want, right? And when it comes to life, challenges and obstacles are inevitable. You're not the only one. It's negative experiences are not exclusively just for you. Everybody experiences it, right? And if you want to create a goal, you want this life, this ideal life, you pray to God and you say, I want this. Don't be surprised if He challenges you and puts you in situations that make your life suck. Because at that moment, you probably might not realize you have to experience this to get to where you want to be, if that makes sense. So let me use this as an example. Let's say you're going through a breakup, right? A girl breaks up with you, and that's a negative experience you're experiencing right now. She left you because, for whatever reason, she found someone else. And now you could choose to be all sad and depressed, and you're like, ugh. But in reality, let me tell you, what if that girl wasn't the right one for you? She wasn't your ideal dream girl. Because now, God forced you into this situation where you're sad. Put you into a corner where now you have to work on yourself. Now you have to reflect and see what you can work and improve. And if you get to that point, that empowering point where you reflect, and instead of pointing the finger at everyone else, you start pointing the finger at yourself, then you go to work on yourself. Now you're going to the gym. Now you're learning and reading all these books to improve. Now you're learning a skill. Now you're figuring out ways to make more money. Yes, it does suck in this moment because how you feel, someone left you, but now you're building yourself. Now you're building yourself. You're improving yourself. You're optimizing your life. And later down the line in the future, once you've hit a more prime version of yourself, now you're attracting better. Now let's say you found someone who's more healthier, more fit individual into your life to be your partner. And you had to go through a negative experience. You had to go through a challenge. If you absolutely want something, anything in life, whether it's more pay, a better car, better lifestyle, better mindset, there has to be polarity. There has to be a challenge to get to that ideal point. It's like working out. I'll use working out as an analogy. If you want to be, let's say, 20% body fat, you want a six-pack, uh, um, you want to build more muscle. If you want to go through that look, you can't be comfortable. You have to challenge yourself. You have to go through hurt. Literally, you have to go through hurt. When you're doing bicep curls, you're intentionally tearing your muscles, right? When you're working out and doing bicep curls, the bicep curl workouts, you're purposely tearing your muscles, purposely hurting yourself. And once you stay disciplined, you keep doing that. When you overcome that and you rest, take the protein, and the protein goes to that muscle and overlaps and builds and grows bigger. That's because you challenge yourself. You went through the challenge of that pain. That's essentially how life works when it comes to manifesting and creating the life you want. You're going to go through challenges regardless. You need to. You need to go through growing pains. Challenges and obstacles is an opportunity to build confidence, to help you problem solve. It forces you to problem solve. It forces you to make decisions, and it forces you to be in your mind to come up with ideas to get to a better place. And that's why challenges and obstacles is actually, on the contrary of what we feel about it, is actually a good thing. Challenges and obstacles is what we need to create the life we want. I'll use me as an example. When I was in my mid-20s, I was just drifting through life, coasting. I was just doing drugs, partying. I had a regular job. I just did enough to barely pay the bills, and I wasn't really ambitious. I didn't really have anything going for myself. I did have goals. I did start a clothing brand, but that didn't really take off. I kind of failed. I actually did it twice, and I wasn't really in the best shape physically, mentally, and emotionally, spiritually also. It wasn't until I went through a hard breakup. I was with this girl for 8 years of my life. We had a kid together, and I was in so much debt. She left me. I was depressed, and I could barely take care of myself. And I said to God, like, man, if I can't take care of myself, and we're bringing in this new human into this world, how am I going to take care of that little person if I can't even take care of myself? So I was forced into a corner of this challenge to where I had to problem solve. I had to critically think. I had to improve and better myself. So there, I actually went to work. I went to read books like Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey to get out of debt, Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki to start entrepreneurship and create passive income streams. And I was so depressed that I had to better myself. I was in the gym almost every day up until now. And I needed that. I needed to hit rock bottom. Because when I hit rock bottom, the only way I really could go is up. And what I'm concluding to is challenges and obstacles, whether you don't like it right now in the present moment, is what you need to get where you want. If you want a goal, and if you've been keeping up with me in the past however many videos I've made, about manifesting and creating your ideal life. I've told you the other ways of doing that, but this is another topic. When you're creating your life, obstacles is necessary to be in your life. It's part of the process of pursuing what you. In conclusion, we're reframing it. What you might be going through right now sucks, and you might not understand it, and that's valid to feel about it that way. But I am giving you this perspective that might be more empowering, thinking about the bigger picture rather than being so fixated on the negative now. Looking down the line, it is a puzzle piece to the bigger picture, a better version, a more optimal, ideal reality for you. And if you have this awareness of obstacles and challenges, you have this certain mindset on how to see it like this, it will help. You will carry yourself a lot better. You'll be more calm, and you'll be in a higher vibration to where you'll be able to manifest answers, resources, certain individuals that will help you along this walk of life, this journey that we all share. So if you reframe a challenge from, oh, this sucks, I hate my life, to, oh, this is part of the process of manifesting a better version of myself, that will place you in higher frequencies to where you live a more quality life. Anyways, hope you guys are thriving. Hope you guys are enjoying the present. If you resonate with it, please leave a comment, like, subscribe, help me push me out into the algorithm. Until then, peace.